Hello, everyone, and welcome back from winter break. Today, we are going to be reviewing some of the things we learned before we went to vacation. We have a quiz on this tomorrow, and I want to make sure everybody's solid on this scale. So, we're going to start on the first page of your packet. When you're finished, you're going to be turning this in completed. Make sure you have your name and date and all of that on your packet. All right, so we're starting with writing decimals in number form. You'll also hear this called standard form, sometimes numeric form, decimal form. It's called a lot of things, but really you're just writing the regular number. So we start with the word form, which is 23 and 5/10. With a place value chart, you can go ahead and place it on here to know how to say it. We're going to say decimal is always said as and where this says the units place, I'm going to say the ones place. All right, so it said 23 and 5/10. I know it ends in the place value that we say in decimal, so 5/10 has to end here. And is the decimal point. So before that, I want to have 23. Once I have this in my place value chart, it actually tells me exactly how to write it in standard form. So 23.5. Oops, might actually want you to see it. There you go. On the next one, it says 18 and 3/100. I'm going to go ahead and just use the space down here. You hopefully have your place value chart with erasable or dry erase. So 18 and 3/100. So I need it to end in the place value that we say in decimal form. So it's going to end in hundredths. And I know my and is the decimal. And so since it says 18 and, I need to have 18 before the decimal. And it says just 3/100. So I do need a 0 here in tenths because I can't leave that blank. So now I should have 18.03 as the way I write this in standard form. All right, and I'm going to do one more with you on the video and then ask you to go ahead and finish this page before moving on. So 6 and 5/100. You should have the and is your decimal point. So it's 6 and it says 5/100. So you don't want to put it in the tenths. You want to put it over here in the hundredths. So again, you're going to put a 0 where it's blank. So 6.05 is 6 and 5/100. I know I said I was only going to do one more, but I'm actually going to do one more and then let you finish the last 4. So 8 thousandths. I'm going to use my place value chart again. And with decimals, we want it to end in the place value that we say at the end. So if it's 8 thousandths, it's going to be 8 in the thousandths place. And because there is nothing else said in the word form, we're going to have to put zeros every place else. So here we have 0.008. All right, so you're going to pause the video at this point and do the last 4 questions on this page. And when you're done with those 4, you're going to go to the next page and I will be going over the next few questions with you. All right, so now we're going into writing the decimals in word form. So you were just doing the opposite of this. And so now when we have 34.02, here's how this works. We want to say the number before the decimal just like we always would. So we know 34 is 34. And we just talked about the decimal point is always and. And the last piece of this is the number after the decimal, you just read like you would always read that number. And you would never say 02, you would just say 2. So we'll say 2. And the last thing you do is the place value it ends at. So this is the 10th place, this is the 100th place. So it's going to be 200ths. So 34 and 200ths. Now, on the next one, we have the only digit is 3, and you just need to check the place value it's in. If you would like to place it on the place value chart, that's helpful. Or if you know your place value and you could just count over, that works as well. So this is the ones place. This is the 10th place. This is the 100th place. So we say the digit as we normally would, which would just be 3. Our decimal, oh, no, that doesn't work that way. We don't need to say 0 and, because we would never say 0 as a number if it's not there. So we would just say 3, and then we would say the place value it ends in, and we just counted out that that was hundredths. So 300ths. And on this next one, so the number before the decimal, you just say the way you've always learned to say it. So 123. The decimal point is and then the digit after the decimal, you say like you normally would, which in this case would just be 9, because we would never say 009. So N9, and then check your place value. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So that's N9 thousandths. All right, I'm going to ask you just to do 2 more of those on this page. If you want to do the other 3, you're welcome to, but these are the must do here. And I will be checking these when you're finished with the video. So pause, do those 2, and then go on to the next page and start again. All right, at this point, we're looking at these decimals in expanded form. Expanded means we're going to stretch out each place value. So the 1 is in the tens place. We're going to write 1 times 10. And then we're just going to put a plus sign in between each one. The 9 is in the ones place. We're going to write 9 times 1. And then we don't need to do 0 times anything, but 2 is in the, see, we've got tenths here. This is the hundredths place. So it's going to be 2 times, and here's where you could do it either fractions or decimals. So 2 times 100th, or if you wanted to, instead it could have been 2 times 0.01. Either of these is just fine. They're the exact same thing. All right, on the next one, we have 8 in the thousandths place. So it is just 8 times 1,000. So it's either fraction form is 8 times 1,000, or decimal form is 8 times 0.001. All right, I'm going to do 1 more of these with you and then ask you to do 2 more. So let's do this one. We've got 6 in the hundreds place. So 6 times 100 plus the next digit is 4. So 4 times in the tens place, so 10. And then 2 is in the ones place. Don't forget your plus sign in between each one. And then we only have 1 other digit that's not a 0, and that is 5. And that's 5 times 1,000. I'm going to do this one in decimal form, 001. Okay, I'm just going to ask you to do 2 more of these. When you're done with that, go ahead to the next page. All right, here we have expanded form that we need to change into a decimal number. So we're writing this standard form, numeric form, decimal form. It all just means a regular number. So we've got 9 times 1. So I know I'm going to have a ones place. I have tenths right here. So tenths place. And I have hundredths right here. So hundredths place. I like to put the blanks because then I can just fill them in properly. I have a 9 in the ones place, an 8 in the tens place, and a 2 in the hundredths place. So my number is 9 and 82 hundredths. You'll see the reason I put the blanks in on the next question. It's got a 1 in the tens place. So if I have a tens place, I have to have a ones place as well. So my tens and my ones, and then it has a number in the tenths place. So with this, 1 in the tens place goes here. My 1 in the tenths place goes here. And you have to put a 0 in, remember, if there's a blank one. So this one will be 10 and 1/10. Going down to this next one, I have a 6 in the tens place. So I know I'm going to have 2 digits here, ones and a tens. And then my decimal point, and then here I have a tenths place. So 6 in the tens, 1 in the 1, and 5 in the tenths. My number, 61 and 5/10. Okay, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do the rest of this page since it's kind of easy to write numbers, not as time consuming as word form. So in this next one, you see that I put the blanks for you. Hundreds place, tens place, ones place. And the reason I put 2 over here when there's only one fraction is because this says hundredths. So make sure you put tenths and then hundredths. All right, so do the last 4 on this page. And when you're finished, go on to the next. All right, here we're just going to be drawing lines to match. So you're looking for the ones, this is your word form. So 15 and 28 hundredths. So you need to look down here for the one that matches 15 and 28 hundredths. It's not 5, it's not 5, but 15 and 28 is here. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw about line. And then if I'm looking for 15 and 28 hundredths, I have a 1 in the tens place and a 5 in the ones place. So I'm just going to start looking. No tens place, 2 in the tens place doesn't work, 1 in the tens place, 5 in the ones place, and then 2 tenths and 8 hundredths. So that is definitely the right one. On the next one, we've got 5 and, so we want 5 in the ones place. So it's either going to be this one or this one. And then it says 82 hundredths. So this is the one that matches. And we'll want the expanded form that has 5 in the ones place. So these are both 5 in the ones place. But this is the correct one because it only goes up through hundredths. You can go ahead and finish those last 3 and match them up. And I'm going to label this a challenge page and let you do this if you get done early and you're waiting for the rest of the class to finish. So you can come back and do this at the end if you don't get done. And the last, not the last skill we learned last week, but the last skill we're going to review today is comparing decimals. Now I want to remind you that you're comparing place value to make this work. So if I'm looking at this one, I can start by comparing the ones place, same. Then come over and compare the tenths place. This is where the difference is. So the one that's bigger is going to give you the greater number. So you want to go ahead and mark that greater than. Now, number 2, same thing. Go ones place, tenths place, tenths place. The first time you come to a difference is here in the thousandths place. The larger one gives you the larger number. On number 3, ones place, 10th place, 10th place. They're the same so far. But the first time you come to a difference is going to tell you the larger number. 6 is bigger than 3. It's automatic. A number 4, ones place, ones place. The difference is clear. 3 is bigger than 2. You don't have to compare anything else. All right. Go ahead and just finish this left side of this. Obviously, if you get done early and you have time, you should finish, but at least get this part done. The same on 21 and 22. Those are just extra if you have extra time. And your exit ticket today is the last page on this packet. So make sure you are careful as you're answering these questions. All right, thank you so much, and good luck answering all the questions in your packet. Hope you're having a great day.